You know this boot right here, the Red Wing Iron Ranger. Well, here are the 5 best alternatives. Now, if you're looking at the price tag of the Red Wing Iron Ranger and it's a little bit high for you, this is my best value for money Red Wing Iron Ranger alternative. It's a cap toe service boot. You can get it with the Storm King outsole, like you see here. That's like a heavy lugged version, or you can get it with a day-night style sole. That's basically a rubber studded sole. But basically, you're getting a 360-degree Goodyear welt. There's a ton of different leather options. I think there was 14 the last I checked out. You can get Thursday's rugged and resilient leather, like this tobacco right here, or you can get Thursday's chrome leather, which is like a full grain, very similar to Horween Chrome XL. I will say Thursday boots, if you wear them a lot, they can tend to break down somewhat quickly, but these are still really high quality boots in general. But if you're talking between, like, a lot of people compare Thursdays to like $400, $500 boots, and they're not really that, but they're still exceptional quality for the money that you're getting. There are very few $200 boots that are this well made. So if you're anything like me and one of the first boots you were looking at was the Red Wing Iron Ranger, but you're not sure you're ready to make that commitment, but you still want to get into a really good pair of boots, then the Thursday Captain is my top pick for that. The second alternative, this is like if you want the best of the best of the best. This is so high quality. These boots are absolute tanks. Of course, I'm talking about the Clark's Wallaby. No, I'm just messing with you. I'm talking about the NYX Americana. So this is like if you're looking at the Red Wing Iron Rangers and you're like, oh man, I want to, the best quality possible and money's not an option to you, it's not an object, then the NYX Americana is the way to go. This thing is insane. I just broke these in and honestly it took me forever. So this is a true cap toe boot in that this cap of leather right here goes over the entire thing rather than maybe like the Thursday Captain. It is more for style rather than an actual double layer of leather right on the toe. You're getting double row stitch down construction. This is some heavy duty wax flesh Horween leather on the outside here that still looks pretty much brand new. It looks like I have not worn these boots at all, but I have been wearing these boots for like 3 months. I've been wearing them all summer. So the fact that they look pretty much new is insane to me. NYX Americana has a leather shank in it, which is pretty unusual, but NYX basically does that because they know that this boot is going to break in, like it's gonna last 10 years or more. So a steel shank, the leather around like on the insole would kind of form around the steel shank and that could make it like uncomfortable 5 years down the road. But with a leather shank that's also going to break in with the insole and the midsole. So it's actually gonna stay comfortable 10 years or more, and then you can absolutely resole these pretty easily. They expect you to. So if you want to go straight to the top and you want the best Red Wing Iron Ranger alternative possible, then the NYX Americana is my top choice. Let's say the price doesn't bother you so much with the Red Wing Iron Ranger, you just want to see what some other options are out there and you want a really, really well-made boot, then in that case, I would look at the Grant Stone Diesel. Now this one does not have a cap toe, but Grant Stone does offer some cap toe versions, something very similar to this. So if you like what I'm talking about with Grant Stone, well then you can get a cap toe version or a plain toe version like the Diesel. Now I gotta say, one thing people like about Red Wing is that they're made in the United States. These are made in China, but they're really, really well manufactured. I don't think that makes a difference in terms of quality. In fact, if anything, these are actually made better. They're manufactured with more higher quality standards than the Red Wings. So things you're getting with this 360-degree split Norwegian welt, which is a pretty interesting style, and it's also very, very weather resistant. It does have Horween Chrome XL leather all the way around the entire boot. You have antique brass eyelets and speed hooks. Of course, you get the leather laces and then a full leather lining all the way throughout. The insole, the midsole is all leather with a steel shank, and you get a rubber studded outsole. I just had somebody email me the other day. They were looking for a recommendation for a great boot, like they just wanted something standard that they could wear to work all the time and that they would have for 5, 6, 7 years. That's that point where I could recommend the Iron Ranger or I could recommend any boot in the world, because they were just like, yeah, like anything, I'm willing to spend $300 on a boot. And I was like, well, the Grant Stone Diesel, that was my recommendation, even over the Red Wing Iron Ranger. So let's say the Grant Stone was appealing to you, but you want something else that is a little more off the beaten path, but still made in the United States. Then in that case, I recommend the Truman. This is the 79 last. This is also a cap toe boot. Now Truman, they're based in Oregon, and I gotta tell you a little story for how I came across Truman and why they're on this list. So not too long ago, I went to a cobbler to resole my 5-year-old pair of Thursday Captains. When I went into the shop, I was like, all right, I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna wear my Red Wing Iron Rangers, because we're all boot dudes. We're all gonna talk about boots. It's gonna be awesome. When I got in there, I looked at everyone's feet and they were all wearing Truman boots. So I asked them, why is everyone wearing Truman boots? And they basically said the quality between Truman and Red Wing, they're pretty comparable. Like it's about as good as it gets. You're getting Goodyear welt, you're getting leather insole, all that good stuff. But the reason why they liked Truman was because they were leather nerds, and so they liked all the leather options that Truman offers. This is in the Horween waxed flesh leather, so this is a waxed rough out, and overall this is just a fantastic boot, and the price is great. Here we're talking north of $400, but you are getting more exotic leathers than Red Wing, and you're still getting a stellar construction. These feature a 270-degree storm welt, and basically these are kind of like right between, I would say these are very much between the NYX Americana, the super high end, and the Red Wing Iron Ranger in terms of quality. This sits like right in the middle of that. Now, if you want something that is super budget friendly, I'm talking like right around the $100 range, then first of all, I don't know, maybe think about it. I would probably recommend going the Thursday Captains, spend a little bit extra, hit that $200 mark. You're gonna get a great pair of boots there. But if you are just dead set on getting a pair of boots now and you have about $100, then I would recommend the Golden Fox Boondocker. This is a surprisingly good boot for the money. Now, I gotta be honest, I haven't tried it myself, but this is one of those boots that comes up time and time again from people who I trust, who know boots pretty well, and they say maybe this is one of their first boots that they got and that it's actually pretty good considering the price. Again, I still think that going with the Thursday Captain, going to $200, there's a few other brands that are in that $200 range that you can get that I know are good. Beckett Simonon is another brand that comes to mind for that. But I do think the Golden Fox Boondocker, if you're interested, you only have $100 or something like that, somewhere right around there, that is worth checking out. And definitely compare them between the Thursday and the Golden Fox, see which one you want if you are, you know, pretty budget tight. Now, I know I said I had 5 alternatives, but I'm gonna give you a bonus one because I like you. No, it's not the Clark's Wallaby. So this is the HELM Zind. And I say this one's an alternative, almost more like it's an alternative to the Thursday than it is an alternative to the Red Wing Iron Ranger. But HELM, they're based in Austin. They make their boots in, I believe, Brazil. This has a very similar slim shape as the Thursday Captain. So it's very slim, very narrow. So if you like that more slim, narrow style, like say the Red Wing Iron Ranger, that bump toe last, the wider, the bigger style of it is what's kind of turning you off, then you can look at the Thursday Captain. That's a really, really good option. Or you can go a little bit higher end in terms of leather quality. I think construction is pretty similar between these two brands, between Thursday and HELM. But HELM, their leather quality, their leathers are a little more interesting. I'm not gonna say the quality's better, but the leathers are a little more interesting. You can tell by this olive full grain leather. It's phenomenal looking. I really like it. Plus they got the white midsole, so it's a pretty unique boot. Again, this isn't so much an alternative to the Red Wing Iron Ranger, more of an alternative to the Captain if you like that slim style, but you want a more original leather. Now, if you want to know what my 5 favorite boots are right now, then make sure you hit that video popping up right there. And if you get a chance, hit the subscribe button. I'd love to see you in the next video. And until then, put your best boot forward.